building's really nice. How long have you been here?
We moved here about a year ago.
Okay.
So we started in the back of my house
Hey,
and moved
that's
all the way to here.
Some of the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
companies in the whole entire world.
Started in the garage.
That's
Yeah,
right.
exactly. Yeah.
Oh, that's
so,
cool.
Yeah.
So what initially got you into the cannabis thing? Did the customer approach you?
Yeah, we've been in greenhouses. Like we had a customer that grew orchids, and when he was growing the orchids, he had great success. All of a sudden he says, "Hey, I want to grow a cash crop.
Yeah.
What does this do for cannabis?" And I said, "I don't know. It kills mold, it kills bacteria, it kills odor." And he said, "Well, let's try it out." So that's how we originally launched into it. It was one of our customers flipped
Oh,
from
interesting.
growing orchids, basically.
Right. And
Yeah.
just a little bit I know about orchids.
Yeah.
Lower light, higher humidity.
Yes.
So I'm sure that
The
transition
mold,
to cannabis
the mold
was tough.
control, yeah.
Yeah.
It was cannabis was tough for us at first. Yeah, they're more sensitive to any type of a sanitizer that's in the environment. Obviously, the light controls, humidity controls, things like that. So we've actually, since about 17 is when we got into it. We started in the end of 2017. And we've actually developed our control systems more and more because of cannabis to have better control systems.
So you have your own separate control for your own device. Is it compatible with other industry controllers?
Yeah, like it'll tie into like greenhouse controls and things like that. So we have a couple ways of integrating with their systems so that you can monitor, hey, I'm monitoring relative humidity, I'm monitoring my CO2, I can see the ROS levels as well.
Just frankly, I'm curious, how does it go about doing that? Are you doing like a low voltage relay?
It's through RS-45.
Okay.
So it's actually through a data communication. So you can either talk to it through RS-45, or we actually have a box that'll convert to an analog signal, so you can get the reading in an analog fashion, basically.
Okay.
So it reports back to the system that way.
So this here, how many models do you have?
There's about 18 configurations.
Oh, wow.
They all fit primarily in 4 classes of models. So we start with small models that are, we call the 40XX series. So it's a small model that'll do anywhere from, depends on the application. So we have to size based on the application. But in cannabis, we can do up to 10,000 cubic feet potentially with one of these. And we talk cubic because we're treating all of the
volume, right?
Yeah, the volume there.
So I guess what I'm thinking about is a few different things. Are there times in the growth cycle that are unsafe for the product?
No.
So you can tackle it even ancillary areas.
Yeah, we do.
Trimming.
We have people treat hallways even.
Yeah.
I mean, really,
Right.
because of
Offices.
cross-contamination. Offices now is a big thing for us with killing coronavirus that
Right.
we do.
Oh, that's right. So you want to speak on that just for a little
I mean,
stable the cannabis thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously we knew because we kill pathogens, bacteria, viruses. Viruses are easier to kill than bacteria. When the H1N1 whole pandemic was, not as big as the coronavirus pandemic was going around, we tested against H1N1. We've tested against MRSAs and staph infection type, all these different bacteria, yeast, molds, we kill it. So when coronavirus came out, the first thing was to first find a lab. That took a little while.
Right, sure.
That had a way of testing against coronavirus. But as soon as we did, we were able to prove that in under 4 minutes, we killed 90%. Now,
wow.
in order for, on the food safety side, whenever we do testing, you have to have a 4 or 5 log reduction. So every log is 90%. So 90% reduction is a single log. 99, count the nines, a 2 log. 99.9 keeps going.
Wow.
4 or 5 log is considered a kill step. In order to do that, we had to start with 36 million colonies of coronavirus.
Oh my gosh.
In order to have a full
I
kill.
wouldn't want to be working in that lab.
So 36 million, and we were able to kill it. And we did it the same way. We didn't put it in a little aquarium and shock it. We did it at our normal levels, like you would find in a cannabis facility or an environmental facility, anything, like our normal levels. And we had a full kill in under 45 minutes.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's 36 million colonies. It's insane. You're not going to find that many on a doorknob or in a normal environment. So it is a pretty drastic reduction very quickly.
Wow, that's really cool.
But in the process of it, it obviously, we call it an indiscriminate killer. Like I've had blueberry farmers go, well, what does it do on blueberries? It kills mold. What does it do on pomegranates? It kills mold.
Yeah.
What does it do on cannabis? It kills mold. It kills the odors, the VOCs in the air. It does indiscriminate killer for that.
So it's even tackling odor.
Yeah, VOCs is a big thing. That's one of the orchid farmer I was talking about. He went and outfitted one of his multiple greenhouses with the unit for the cannabis because I'm going to grow cannabis.
Right.
The next day, his parents owned the facility. They came in and they're like, what happened? Did you lose the crop? And he goes, why? He goes, they can't smell it. They're used to driving up and smelling the cannabis, and it was gone. So we had people do that. The very first people that tested in dry rooms were like, oh my gosh, you killed everything.
Right.
And they turned off the system, and all of a sudden, the
Start
smell
smelling
comes
again.
back.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, I'm killing the VOCs in the air, not what creates the VOCs.
I could imagine that being a significant amount of pushback for early adopters. Is does the zap the terps?
Terps, flavor profiles, all of the potency testing, and so we've had a lot of our first adopters. We didn't realize how big they were. There's some large customers, and they did all that testing, and they're like, yeah, you're not affecting my terps, you're not affecting this. I'm growing strains that used to not be, they're not very healthy strains, they're hard to grow, and I'm getting full crops out of them, and we're passing state labs.
Right.
So it was one of the things we didn't really know in the very beginning is what are we going to do to the terpenes and things like that. So luckily we have a lot of good customers now,
Yeah, no,
and
definitely.
they've given us a lot of data about that. That is not an issue.
And it's a fresh product. I mean, the consumer is demanding it get tested, let alone the regulations.
Yes.
So that's good.
Yeah,
You've been
so
able to
we've saved.
quantify quick.
Yeah, we've been able to. You get our ROI on a crop right away. Just from hey, I have a healthier crop, I get more product out of it, or I'm passing.
I can imagine that. Yeah, it's less stress, right? So the
Yeah.
plant can actually express itself.
Yeah, that was. We've never really said, hey, we're going to claim more yield.
No.
But it's what our customers are telling us is, hey, we're getting more yield. Even if it's less loss, it's more yield.
Yeah, exactly.
But in reality, yeah, they're getting healthier plants, more yield, larger product, larger buds.
Is it easier for you to implement this early in the design process, or is it more of a retrofit solution?
Both, really. I mean, for us, we can add it at any time in the process.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you already have a huge PM outbreak and I put it in there, now the PM might die, but it's still on the plant, right? I can't abate mold.
Right.
I can kill it, but it's not going to remove it
Right, you're
from the
keeping
wall
it at
or
bay.
whatever. Yeah, I'm always stopping it. So it's better the earlier in the process you get it in the growth cycle. Doesn't matter if it's an old building or a new building. That's not a problem. We are even this large unit, which we'll do in cannabis. This will probably roughly do about 45,000 cubic feet. A lot of times they're using greenhouses, multiple of these. This only draws 3 amps.
Oh, really?
So it's not like, oh, now I have to put in an extra electrical circuit in order to handle this.
Right.
It draws 3 amps. The triple stack, this guy will do 3 times as much as that one, and it's still under 8 amps, like right about 8 amps.
Wow, that's very impressive.
Very low power.
And is it voltages? What voltage you offer?
Yeah, this comes in single phase 120, and we have a world power, so we have a 230, 240 volt, but
Okay.
single phase.
Okay.
So it's not 240 for the US, they all run on 120 single phase.
Okay.
So we have to invert for world power. But yeah, so all of them, depending on the size, take less amount of amperage. So we start with like the small I talked about, our XX series. We go to a YY series, which is the next step up. ZZ is a little longer, looks exactly like this. We can show you in production what a ZZ looks like. Then it goes to the 4120, and then we do even make 4240s, which are NEMA 4 and even NEMA 4X versions. So I have these on stainless steel with an air conditioner and heater on the side of it, on top of a roof in the snow in Dakota City, year round.
Wow.
And so we make those for specialty applications for outdoor use, things like that.
How about like, I'm assuming a lot of it has to do with contact time across the unit itself. When you have a constant ventilation in the greenhouse, do you find you need to deploy more?
That's where we're very different. So a lot of our customers are like, ask us, hey, what's your CFM? This guy's only running 150 CFM or less.
Oh, wow.
One of these guys is like 28 CFM. I don't have to turn the air in order to treat it because I have a sanitizer. So the way it's working is it's taking the ambient air in, humidity, whatever's in the air, taking that in, applying a high voltage, high frequency pulse, creating reactive oxygen. The reactive oxygen that's inside is very short-lived, so it doesn't even make it out of the unit. So anything that comes into contact with that is being killed, negated, spores, everything, destroyed. DNA, RNA level, destruction. Anything that is in the environment itself that doesn't go through here. So what happens when a plant gets PM? Spore relates, the spore now moves to plant 2. If that spore doesn't go through a purifier, it doesn't get killed. But with our system, because we have the sanitizer in the environment, I kill plant to plant cross-contamination. So that is our claim to fame. So I don't have to turn it all here. I don't have to have dwell time in here because I have a even level sanitizer in the room at all times.
Right, wow.
So it protects here, irregardless of whether I've actually filtered the air or not.